This is KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.
What do you say, sports fans? Welcome in to the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. I'm Mike Friedman alongside Cam Sanderson, and we're here in Southeast Texas, wherever you happen to be listening, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or if you're watching us on YouTube, News on KFDM on YouTube, and you'll be able to see, click on podcast, you'll be able to see all the ones we've done. This is our 11th, Cam.
I know.
11th. We started with the high school football season, so it's week 11 of the high school football season, and this is our 11th podcast right here, the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. It's a lot of fun. Hey, we're going to, since it is the final week of the regular season, we're going to talk about some, playoff situations, especially in two districts where it'll come down to the final night, and this will be interesting. So we'll start out in District 9 5A Division 1, and the winner of this district, the Port Arthur Memorial Titans, they went 10-0, so they're not going to change. They're district champs, and it's after that I guess could be a little interesting.
Yeah, so as of right now, there's only two teams that have locked in a playoff spot, and that is Lufkin and Port Arthur.
Right.
Everybody else, including Barbers Hill, who is sitting pretty right now, has not locked in a playoff spot. It's getting exciting towards the end of the year. We'll go ahead and look at a couple of these playoff scenarios. We're going to start with one. I'm going to pull up this graphic and want to show you it if you're watching us on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not 100% true. Give me a second. I'm about to pull it up over here.
There it is.
So originally, this is what we thought it would look like if United and Westbrook won.
If they both Beaumont schools win on Friday night, this is how we think that they're going to finish. But we've been told otherwise.
We have been told otherwise. So I will say, on top of this, Barbers Hill would be 3-3. They would not be 4-2.
Right.
They currently sit at 3-2.
Okay.
So if they win, if United and Westbrook win, there would be a three-way tie in third, fourth, and fifth, meaning one of those
3-3.
At 3-3, meaning one of these teams would not make it.
Correct.
Originally, what we thought was United would get in over Westbrook because of the head-to-head.
Right.
But because this situation would lead to Westbrook having the win over Barbers Hill over United, and United over Westbrook.
And that is if Westbrook wins in the final night of the season.
In
so
this
coming up on
situation,
Friday. Right, yeah.
It would come down to a points against tie. So points against each other. And because of that, because of how Barbers Hill beat United, Westbrook would get the third seed. Barbers Hill would get the fourth seed, and United would just miss out. Meaning that
crazy.
If both these teams win, the Bruins would land a playoff spot, and United, even though they won the Beaumont Bowl, would not get in.
Right. Okay. So if both United and Westbrook win, here's how we understand it. Port Arthur Memorial, the top seed, Lufkin, the second seed, Barbers Hill will be the third seed, and Westbrook will be the
Westbrook
fourth.
at 3.
Westbrook
at
3.
4.
Okay, Westbrook. Oh, yeah, because they would have beaten Barbers Hill.
Exactly.
If they do that
I don't know
week.
if that head-to-head even matters. I think it's points. But this is what I'm hearing is it's likely it's 3 and 4. These are sources that are telling me. I literally got a call, probably an hour before we went on this podcast.
Right.
This, like you said, it's as far as we know.
So if you're a Timberwolf fan, if you're a United fan, not only do you want to win, but you want Barbers Hill to win.
You need Barbers Hill to win.
So let's see if United and Barbers Hill win, what that does for United.
Right, that's a big one for them if they can get it. We'll pull that right over here. We're just going to keep stacking them on top of each other.
That's fine.
So if United and Barbers Hill can pull off the win. So if Westbrook falls, then United would get that fourth spot. Barbers Hill would go to 2 because of their win over Lufkin. Westbrook would fall to 2 and 4 in district, and just miss out. So once again, that's what it comes down to. It's you have to win on Friday night to make the playoffs. There is no scenario where either of these Beaumont teams can lose and still make it.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. So this, as we understand it here, Westbrook, if they don't beat Barbers Hill on Friday, they don't have a chance.
I do not know. They do not have a chance.
Yeah.
You have to win on Friday night. If you don't win on Friday night, you're not making the playoffs.
And they not only have to win on Friday night, they have to have some other. They have to have United.
No, they just have to win.
They just have to win.
So this is what we thought. We thought they had to win and United would have to lose. But because of the three-way tie,
and the point spread,
because of the point spread, if Westbrook wins on Friday, they've made the playoffs.
Wow.
So interesting, because when they lost in the Beaumont Bowl, we talked about this, but I thought they were done.
Yeah, I thought there
was no realistic path to making the playoffs, but clearly.
Well, hey, if you're a Bruin fan, there's still hope.
There is.
Just win on Friday against Barbers Hill, and you're headed to postseason play.
Right, and we'll talk about another one of those wins.
Westbrook and Sterling win. Yeah.
If you can win on Friday night, Westbrook's going to get a 3 seed. We do know this now.
Okay.
If they win regardless in whatever game, they're going to land the 3 seed. This is the interesting one. Because in this situation, because of Sterling upsetting Barbers Hill earlier in the year, Sterling would make it over Barbers Hill. I believe it has to go with the same point spread.
Right.
Now, this is, once again, this was given to me like the standings apparently from the district.
Right.
So Sterling would get the 4, Barbers Hill would miss out, and Beaumont United would come in 6th of 7th. So they would, regardless, you missed the playoffs. You didn't miss the playoffs.
So Westbrook win coupled with a United loss lands Westbrook as the 3 seed in this district. So again, it goes back to Westbrook needing to win on Friday over Barbers Hill. Win and they're in, basically.
Right. And then last situation, this is if both the teams lose.
If neither Beaumont team wins on Friday, the season's over.
Neither one.
Yeah.
So we'll go another year without Beaumont playoff football. And
Right.
I think the last time was 2020 that we saw one of these teams in there.
Right.
I believe it was the Timberwolves. So this is the worst case scenario. We can say that in Southeast Texas. Now, everybody who's a fan of one of these teams has their worst case scenario, and it just includes their team missing. For me, I would be pretty devastated if both these teams drop a game on Friday night and can't make the playoffs.
Absolutely. I agree with you as well. Yeah, they've both had great seasons, or, better seasons than we've been seeing in the past, and we certainly wish both of them well. So United, can I ask you, Cam has been more into this than I have. United wins, they're not necessarily in.
So United
they don't control their own fate?
Needs a Westbrook loss. So you don't control your fate.
Okay.
United does not, Westbrook does. Westbrook wins and they're in.
And a lot of people think it's the other way around. I think a lot of people think if United wins, regardless of what Westbrook did, because United beat Westbrook in the Beaumont Bowl, they'll be in. But that's not the case because of a point differential between wins and losses with other teams in that district.
I'm blown away that that's not the situation.
Yeah,
it should be a Beaumont.
Right.
It should be a United win and you're in. But because of these 3-way ties, it gets weird. And so this is as far as we know. I hope we're 100% right. I mean, like I said, this is I got thrown for a loop an hour before we went over here. But I'm confident that this is how it falls. And so win and you're in for Westbrook, or a United win and Westbrook loses and United makes the playoffs.
Or if they both win, still Westbrook gets in.
Yeah, so win and you're in for Westbrook. But if you drop it and United wins, United gets in. And if both the teams lose, no Beaumont playoff football.
All right, we'll have it all for you, of course, Friday night after the late news and our final Friday night tailgate party on KFDM Channel 6. We look forward to that. Let's go ahead and talk about another area district that is going to come down to the final night.
This one's so much more exciting.
This one is fun because our game of the week is going to be LCM at Lumberton, and that's District 10 4A Division 1, and there are 4 teams tied at the top, not just tied for the playoffs.
All 5-1.
Yeah.
Locked in a playoff seed.
Yeah.
And now it's just who can win. And we're in a beautiful situation where the answer is any single one of them.
Any one of those teams could win.
So I'm going to pull up. This is the first one right here.
Okay. If Bridge City and LCM win, so
the Battling Bears would get in. They have the tiebreaker over Bridge City.
Okay.
And that's all you need. So the way this falls now, because they're all 5-1, 2 teams will be 5-2, 2 teams will be 6-1.
Right.
And because they each have the tiebreaker over each other, you win, and then you need a win on the other game. So no one in this district controls their destiny.
Interesting.
A win guarantees you a top 2 spot.
Okay.
But the game that's being played an hour away, that also has to go your way.
Yeah.
So at our game of the week, it doesn't matter. LCM or Lumberton can win.
Yeah.
And neither one of them could be district champs.
Right.
So this is exciting. Like I don't know how UIL presents those trophies.
Yeah.
I guarantee the trophy's not going to be presented until after Friday night. They can't have a trophy at a single game.
At every one of them. To just decide who's going to be the district champ. All right, so that's one situation. If Bridge City and LCM both win, it'll be LCM, Bridge City, Lumberton, and Huffman-Hargrave as the top 4 teams out of that district. All right, if Bridge City and Lumberton win, if LCM loses.
Yeah, we'll pull that one up. So if Bridge City and Lumberton win, Bridge City had the win over Lumberton earlier in the season.
So they
Huffman
would be district champs.
has the win over LCM. So it'd be Bridge City, Lumberton, Huffman, and LCM. That's your finish.
The 4th place seed.
Both of these, I mean, the thing is, what's really cool about this is they're all really like strong possibilities. Like,
Sure,
there
it can
isn't
happen.
one that can be favored because they're all 5-1 in district.
That's right.
It's like they all look amazing.
Yeah,
so,
if you don't know, Bridge City plays Huffman, and Lumberton and LCM play each other this week. So to end the regular season, the district champion and the playoff seeding is going to come down in 10-4A Division I to the outcomes of these games, for sure.
So, once again, win, you guarantee you top 2 spot. You need the win to go your way in the other district.
So if Bridge City loses,
And
which means Huffman would
wins,
win.
and LCM wins, then we'll see the Huffman-Hargrave Falcons win the district
Okay.
because of their win against LCM on Friday
Right,
night.
correct.
Bridge City still has the win over Lumberton. They will get 3-4 on Lumberton. So Huffman's not one of our local teams.
Right.
So
They're on the fringe, but they're out there. Yeah.
Right. So we don't really heavily cover them.
Sure.
I can confidently say this is the situation I don't want to happen. I am rooting for our 3 local teams. I'm interested in see which one of them can win the district.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I guess it's all up. Friday night is really exciting.
It'll be fun on Friday. Great way to end the regular season. One thing to know is these 4 teams will make the playoffs. They'll all see past week 11. It just depends in what seed they'll be in and who they'll face.
Yeah.
So one other situation, if Huffman and Lumberton win, so if LCM loses and Bridge City lose,
Yeah, how about this? The Lumberton Raiders,
can you imagine?
who lost in overtime in week 1, 6-3,
Yeah.
and are on a 5-game winning streak, would extend it to 6, would be district champions in the second year of the Chase McDonald era. This one comes out of left field.
Sure.
Genuinely, if we were talking about this 3 weeks into the season, I don't think we would have thought.
No, we wouldn't have thought
have-
Lumberton would win the district over LCM or
absolutely
even
not.
Bridge City. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and
either
so
one.
as soon as they got that win over Huffman,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was second week of district, man, things started to change.
Yeah.
Questions started to be asked, and there is a situation now going into kickoff on Friday night, 7:30, when both these games kick off.
Yeah.
That after 4 quarters are played, the Lumberton Raiders are district champions. They're the number, and that's
could be. So if they beat LCM and Bridge City loses to Huffman,
right.
Lumberton would be district champs. So that's for Raider fans. That's what you got to root for. You got
Yeah.
to beat LCM. You got to have Bridge City lose. And that's the way it goes. All right, it's going to be a fun way to end the regular season.
Oh,
Week
yeah.
11, we'll have it all covered for you, and we'll do our best to explain it Friday night after the late news on the tailgate party right here on KFDM Channel 6. All right, we'll be back on the KFDM Sports Extra podcast to reveal our new Week 11 top 6 teams. There's a little bit of change for this guy over here. Cam,
yeah.
change something.
Little change.
You'll find out right after this.
And now, the Sports Extra Countdown.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is the KFDM Sports Extra podcast. Thanks for listening wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or if you're watching on YouTube, news on KFDM on YouTube as well. You'll be able to see all the graphics we're doing, and we're about to reveal a new graphic. This is our new top 6 for Week 11, and I'll go ahead and start with my sixth place team. They're staying put, the Hardin Hornets. Hardin, what haven't we said about the Hardin Hornets? They're having a magical season. First district championship since 1974.
Yeah.
They're in line to go 10-0 this season. They have not lost. So through 5 district games played so far this year, the Hornets have outscored their opponents 204-77. So they certainly have been clicking, doing well, and I certainly hope that they have great playoff success.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. I think Hardin, they're still in my top 6.
Yeah.
They're not at 6. West Orange Stark remains at 6.
Okay.
They continue to be great. I mean, I got nothing to say about them. They'll see Hampshire Finette this week. That'll be a big test for them if they win district champs. So that's
Right.
really cool.
Yeah.
First time, I think, since 2021. Maybe it was 19. Can't remember. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute since West Orange Stark
First
was
time in
district
Hiawatha
champ.
Hickman's tenure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute for them, but this is a good opportunity for these guys to get that district championship.
Right.
This was one of my teams at the beginning of the year. I had them in my top. I think they were second for me, maybe first. No, they were second. I had Memorial first, West Orange Stark second. Opening the year is a team I think that could still possibly make a run to state.
Yeah.
And I think getting that first seed puts you in a good spot to do that. So
Okay.
they're
Well said.
number 6 for me at number 5. Welcome back into my top 6, Bridge
Welcome
City.
back.
You took 1 week off, and I'm going to add you back. LCM obviously dropping their game. Made it hard to keep them up here.
Right.
Bridge City gets a bounce back. You can make the argument, oh well, Bridge City lost to LCM, but whatever.
Right.
I'm not going to hear it. There's going to be some big games. Obviously, we just talked about all these games that are coming up on a Friday night for that district. I think Bridge City is probably the best team in the district.
Yeah.
And so they did drop one against LCM, but I don't. I still think that they're going to prove themselves. They're going to continue to prove themselves, and that's one of those teams you want to take going into the playoffs. You mentioned it. I think that was your team taking going into the playoffs.
It was,
and
yes.
there's a lot to talk about them positively about. So
and we'll see Bridge City on my top 6, but just not in at number 5. I've got in at number 5 those West Orange Stark Mustangs. You mentioned it's been a minute since they've won district. West Orange Stark used to dominate this district. They used to own this district. It was a race for second place for every other team because it was just a given almost that West Orange Stark was going to win district. No one was going to challenge them. Cornell Thompson left, Hiawatha Hickman took over, and West Orange Stark kind of lost that hold on the district championship. Silsby's won a couple, Hampshire Finette won last year. So, and West Orange plays Hampshire Finette this week. So that's going to decide the outright district championship or a share of the district championship. Yeah. West Orange Stark has a chance to go 5-0 in District 9-4A Division II play and head into the playoffs as district champs. So I certainly think the Mustangs definitely have some talent.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 team, there's the Bridge City Cardinals. Yeah, Bridge City bounced back from that loss against LCM. Better to get it out of the way now, right?
Yeah,
the loss is it's okay. You're still going to make the playoffs. You're still going to compete for the ultimate goal. It's after this week, you can't lose anymore, obviously, because once the playoffs, it's one and done. So, yeah, the Bridge City Cardinals definitely have some talent there. They're going to finish strong. The district title, 10-4A D1 title, still in play, as we mentioned. So I know Bridge City will not only want to take care of their own business and beat Huffman, but they're going to want to see what happens between LCM and Lumberton.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, hey, we still got the same 3 teams, just
there
in a different order.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep Hardin at 4. I got no reason to move them, just like you have no reason to move them from 6.
Right.
They keep being great. They are officially district champs.
Yes,
That's awesome.
absolutely.
Congrats to those guys. I know that was an emotional moment, just happy moment for that area.
Can you imagine first time since 1974?
No, I can't. I went to PNG.
And they've only won 2. Yeah, no,
I
know
I
you
can't imagine struggling in football.
Yeah,
I think about that a lot with some of these teams, and so it's so awesome.
Yeah.
We had Hampshire Finette last year was that team, I think, that got that district championship for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Hardin's was even longer and even
right,
more out of nowhere.
Right. Different districts, by the way.
But just Southeast Texas in general.
Hardin's a 3A team, but
and just having those moments, seeing that from teams like that, and it's cool. You always see these moments every season, and Hardin clinching a district championship, man, that gets you excited. So I'm happy for them. Good for their community, and they'll stay at 4 for me.
Okay, look at your number 3.
Yeah, number 3, staying put as well. Newton can't move Newton. I think the 1 and 2 were set. Like, I think you have your 1 and 2.
Right.
If you want to call it 1A, 1B, I would agree with that.
Right, I would agree with that, too.
And then there's a gap, and it's Newton, and then maybe this isn't polite,
and then
there's a
little
gap.
Yeah. Sure.
So I do think Newton is comfortably at 3. Do I think they could compete and maybe be the best team? If I'm being honest, I think they might have one of the best chances, if not the best chance, to make a run to state out of all our teams. I
completely agree.
So maybe they should be higher for me if I think that. But Newton just continues to be amazing. I believe, 72, 62, 62.
Get to my 3rd place team, and it is also the Newton Eagles. Here's Newton's district games this year, just what they've scored. 62, 54, 72, 62, 62.
Oh, 54.
A 54. They must have had an off night, right?
Doing?
62, 54, 72, 72, 62, 62.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Dominant.
That's the end of district, right?
That's the end of district for them. They're done. Yeah, they don't play this week. So they're going to rest up. They'll be healed up. They'll be ready to make a playoff run. And fingers crossed. Yeah, I hope we're talking about Newton when they're up there in Arlington.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know once it gets to those games. So it gets exciting. But
things have to go your way. But
I know Coach Johnston's told me he feels really confident in this team. They had a lot of guys returning.
Right.
They look good.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. If you get an opportunity to go watch Newton play on football, you're like sitting around, I got nothing to do on a Friday. Maybe your team's been eliminated.
Yeah.
Make the trip. Go watch Newton.
Them. Yeah, go watch them.
You won't regret it.
Yeah, they're impressive for sure.
All
right. We're just going to do our 1 and 2 because, as Cam's mentioned, it could be 1A, 1B. He's ready to reveal his. Go ahead, reveal yours.
I'll reveal mine. We can do them together.
He flipped
this
it.
is
He
interesting.
flipped it, guys. He flipped it. The P&G boy.
Yeah.
Look what he did.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Why did you? Hey, let me ask you. Why did you move Memorial down? They're 10-0.
I mean, they're 10-0. They're
10-0.
PNG's 9-0. They're about to be 10-0. They're going to beat Dayton.
Okay.
So I mean, 10-0, whatever. They're both going to be 10-0.
Okay.
I do think
because they didn't play each other.
Right. They didn't play each other. They can't possibly both be undefeated if they play each other. The thing about P&G for me is, and I mentioned this a while back when I moved them the first time back up to 1 over Memorial, and I got some hate for it, but they beat LaPorte, who is a state-ranked team.
Sure.
Here we are, 1 week left in the season. LaPorte is still a state-ranked team.
Right.
Coming off of a win against a top 10 5A D1 team in the state, which is, by the way, Memorial 5A D1, in case you forgot.
Right.
P&G coming off of a win against a team who was undefeated in district. Montgomery computer rankings had them at 14th. So the strength of schedule, there is no question.
It's a great point.
P&G has had a tougher schedule than Memorial.
Correct.
I have no doubt in my mind. I don't think there are some good teams that Memorial's seen. I think Lufkin's a good team, and they beat them 30-0.
Let me ask you, pound for pound talent, who has more talent?
Probably Memorial.
Right.
But that hasn't mattered.
Okay.
P&G has beaten a lot of teams that I think have more talent than them.
So if Memorial played LaPorte, do you think LaPorte would have won?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I'm not going off of hypotheticals. I know what happened, and so that's the thing. I always hear these arguments: if they played each other this year, this, if that, if what. This is what I know has happened for sure. And the same thing with P&G though, because people make the P&G argument like, well, they're going to make a run in the playoffs, and Memorial can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that. You're talking about 3 or 4 weeks in advance. I think, like I said, this is 1A, 1B.
Right.
But you know what? I'm sick of being the same with you. And I don't mind changing it.
Oh, it's personal. Okay.
I'm tired of it being the same at the top. I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again. And I'm tired of pretending like Memorial is 1 and it's not disputed.
Right.
There's a reason other media people have P&G at 1 because it can be disputed.
Yeah.
And it's not ridiculous to say that.
Hey, and I will say we'll keep our top 6 football related as long as we can. Until there's just 1 or 2 teams left, and it would kind of be silly to do that. As long as we still have maybe 6 teams, or we could dwindle down a little bit, but we'll keep it going as long as we can. Let me ask you: between P&G and Port Arthur Memorial, who's going to have a better playoff run?
You know what? I've said it multiple times. I think this is Port Arthur's best chance to have a playoff run. I think P&G faces a brick wall in the 4th round against South Oak Cliff. So the question is, does P&G get over that hill? They've done it before, but they do it this year. And then the other question is, can Memorial make it past the 4th round? Right. Because they haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
And
so take it one round at a time, Titans. One round at a time.
So I guess what do you think? You think Memorial can make a state run? Do you do you think Memorial will be playing in AT&T Stadium? And
I would feel more comfortable saying that if I've seen it, if it's happened more recently, and the fact that P&G has consistently, since Coach Joseph's been there, competed for either a regional championship or a state championship.
They just had their worst season in the Jeff Joseph era, and it ended in the 4th round.
In the regional championship game against South Oak Cliff. So, I'm not a betting man, but if I had to bet, I would say P&G's I would put my money on P&G.
Maybe make a better run in playoffs. But you never know. We talk about this. Even with Newton, who I think has a really good shot at making that run, I think they're one of the best teams in that level. They could lose in the 1st round.
Absolutely.
You don't know what happens once
they're
going to
face Dangerfield or a team out there that in the area, in the region, or something like that that's just as good or close to as good as them, and they do something they're not used to, they haven't seen, and something happens. So things have to go right for all of these teams to make long playoff runs for sure.
Yeah. So I think it's 1A, 1B. So maybe I'm gonna switch it up. We'll switch it up. I think it's no hate to Port Arthur. I want this to be known. I'm still a big supporter of the Port Arthur Memorial Titans. I have been all season.
Right.
People forget this. I had them number 1 at the beginning of the season, and they moved it around. Everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's horrible."
Yeah.
But I've always been a big supporter of Memorial.
I had Newton number 1.
Newton 1, and he had P&G 2. I had him 3.
I had P&G.
So he was the P&G guy before me.
You can go back and look at all our podcasts. If you go to News on KFDM on YouTube and just click podcast, and then you go back, look at week 1.
Look at the difference between the teams and see how much we know.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the point of this. This is all opinions. And if this is not fact. This has never been fact.
No, not
this
at
is
all.
What we think.
This is rankings. These rankings don't mean anything. Nothing at all.
So we're just having
what
fun.
We're saying. We're having fun. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back to talk about the final week of the regular season in high school football right after this.
Southeast Texans are passionate about their hometown team. Fully loaded with more scores, more interviews, and more games.
Follow us on Facebook, Insta, X, and KFDM.com.
Get the most complete coverage of your favorite Friday night rivalries.
Classic Southeast Texas presents the Friday Night Tailgate Party. Brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union. Catch it every Friday after KFDM 6 News at 10.
All right, we're back. You're listening to the KFDM Sports Extra podcast, or you're watching on News on KFDM on YouTube as well. We appreciate everyone that's tuning in. Nothing but high school football here in Southeast Texas. It is still king, even though this is the last week of the regular season. Man, it went fast.
I know, yeah. It's actually really disappointing. This
Yeah.
is my favorite time of the year. And so I went to take a sip of water right as you said that. My favorite time of the year. I wait for this all year long, and then it ends so quickly.
All right, go grab your water.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, he's taking a sip of water. All right, let's talk a little bit more in depth here. We've got Westbrook at home hosting Barbers Hill. And again, Westbrook needs to win. We've talked about this when we mentioned the playoff situations.
You lose and you're out. You win. Westbrook's in.
Westbrook's in. So it doesn't matter if BU United wins or loses. Westbrook's in if they beat Barbers Hill.
Yeah.
So you can't have anything more on the final week of the regular season in this one. Westbrook gets to be home. That's got to be some sort of an advantage there. I don't know how well they match up with Barbers Hill, though.
Yeah, going to be a tough team.
Yeah.
I will say, this is what you can go off of. They went in overtime with Lufkin. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, obviously you have that loss against Beaumont United, but it's a rivalry game. You never know. The environment's different.
Sure.
So I know this is practically
you know, P&G lost to Nederland in Mid-County Madness and then went all the way to state.
Exactly.
So yeah, it happens. Yeah.
So I mean, you talk about this is almost a playoff game. It is a playoff game because if you lose, you're out. Your season ends
Great way of
on
thinking
Friday
of it.
night.
Yes.
This is round 0 for them.
Winner, they're in and out, and their season's done. Yeah, so they need to win.
Winning your season's alive. It's not going to be an easy win.
Right.
But at home, I think I like their odds, and obviously I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
I am going to root for them.
I am as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hopefully they get it done. All right, United will be on the road. They're at Sterling, and again, they don't hold the fate in their own hands, but they certainly need to win. If they lose, they're completely eliminated.
Yeah.
But if they win and Westbrook loses, they'll be in. So.
Yeah, so I think that this is a very likely scenario.
Okay.
United beating Sterling.
Uh-huh.
I feel more confident in saying United will beat Sterling than I do Westbrook beating Barbers Hill. And I'm
correct.
not saying they can't beat Barbers Hill.
Right.
I feel a lot more confident about BU taking down Sterling because I do think BU's better than Sterling.
Yeah.
I think Barbers Hill and Westbrook are on the same level.
Yeah.
And so it's which one of those teams can get the win there.
Yeah.
But I think BU's got a good shot. And so I think they'll handle their half of the deal.
Yeah.
They just got to hope, Barbers Hill holds up on their side. But, either way, I feel very confident that we're talking about Beaumont football next week.
Okay, very good. All right, let's hope so. Keep our fingers crossed. All right, we'll move from 5A Division 1 to 5A D2, 8 5A Division 2, and both mid-county teams are home this week. P&G will be home against Dayton.
Yeah.
And I know you completely expect the Indians to.
I think everybody should. They'll be 10-0.
Yeah.
They'll be 10-0 just like Port Arthur. They'll go into the playoffs and make their run. And, we won't worry about them till they might play someone round 3. That's tough, but I'm not going to worry about them until round 4.
Keep in mind the mid-county teams are still in Region 2. After the last UIL realignment. The new realignment will be in February of 2026 here. So it's coming up, but they were moved from Region 3 to Region 2. That's why they face South Oak Cliff in a regional championship and not there in Arlington for the state championship.
Hopefully that's fixed.
Yeah, hopefully
that needs
that's
to be fixed.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I could say it pretty clearly.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
For sure. All right, Nederland at home at Bulldog Stadium, senior night, all that good stuff. They've stumbled. They really have stumbled.
Just rooting for
They're
them.
home against Montgomery, by the way.
Rooting for them.
Yeah.
Montgomery obviously is the second best team in the district. They just put a
Barely-
really good battle up
barely
against
lost to P&G, yeah.
And so, I don't know. I'd expect
Montgomery scored
unfortunately-
almost 40 points against P&G. So
I'd expect Montgomery to win. They're going to be a tough team to beat, but hey, senior night, some kids last games, and we've seen moments like this, especially in Mid-County Madness. You talk about last year's Mid-County Madness,
Right.
with Hubert Thomas and Aiden Sunday, senior leadership that powered him to take down the number 1 team in the state.
Right.
Sometimes on big nights like that, it's your last game you can play. They don't have playoffs to play for.
Right.
This is the last football game for Nederland, and so
Well, let's hope they go out with a bang.
I'm rooting for them. So heavy.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, 10-4A Division 1, we talked about that. 4 teams are a lock to make the playoffs. Just where they'll be is what we don't know. So our game of the week, LCM at Lumberton. LCM coming off that loss to Huffman last week, and will they be able to bounce back on the road?
I think they can. It's going to be interesting how they
Lumberton's
handle.
won how many straight?
5.
5 straight.
Did they make it 6?
Did they make it 6?
I don't know how you stop that running duo. I keep mentioning them.
Yeah.
Nick Craddock, Chase Williams. It's a scary rushing duo. And I don't know what you do against them, but LCM, it's one of those teams. Hey, we're at the top of the district. We're fighting for a district championship.
Right.
We're about to make a playoff run. I think Coach Peavy is one of the best in Southeast Texas.
Absolutely.
So if I had to pick a coach that could handle it, who can handle, hey, how we game plan against this at Lumberton team, he would be one of them.
Yeah.
He'd be one of them.
Yeah.
Bridge City, they had the they had the formula down how to stop them. I think LCM could also do that. But don't be surprised if Lumberton makes it 6 straight and pulls this one off.
Gets a district championship.
I won't be surprised either way. I don't have a team that I think is going to win this district.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, the other game worthy of noting in that district, Bridge City and Huffman. Bridge City on the road at Huffman. Bridge City and Huffman. That's going to be Huffman just came off that win against LCM. They're feeling good.
I bet you they are.
Yeah.
I will say I favor Bridge City in this one. I do know LCM's quarterback was down for a bit. Maybe that helped Huffman out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and I really don't weigh that loss from LCM as heavy as maybe as some people might. Just because of you lose your quarterback, it's kind of hard. Struey, by the way, we've been saying his name wrong.
Strew, I think.
Stu. Yeah, and I finally saw the comment. So
I saw that
Struey.
as well.
So
Struey.
We're gonna get that right on the
LCM's
highlights on
quarterback,
Friday
by
night.
the way, Struey.
Yeah, but he was out for a
that.
minute. I think Bridge City's got this against Huffman. So if that's true, if Bridge City gets this against Huffman, then it's either Bridge City or LCM that would win the district.
Right.
So
interesting
Friday night.
All right, should be a lot of fun. Something to look forward to on Friday night. We'll move down 9-4A Division II play in the game of the week that could have been Hampshire Finette.
It was our game.
It was our game of the week. We just changed
Huffman
it until
upsetting LCM.
Right.
Then everything changed.
And with all 4 of those teams tied for first, we think that's a better district to keep an eye on. But
yeah, I agree.
All right, 9-4A Division II. Hampshire Finette will be at West Orange Stark. The outright district championship on the line for West Orange Stark. They're unbeaten in district play. Hampshire Finette has that one loss to Silsbee. Hampshire Finette's put together a streak of wins. Well, not that West Orange Stark hasn't. They haven't lost in district yet.
Right.
And they get to be at home. You see West Orange Stark hoisting that championship by the end of the night?
I think they got a good shot at it.
Yeah.
I will say in favor of Hampshire Finette, their loss to Silsbee, they changed a lot of things after that loss. Their D-line is the big guys now.
Okay.
I do know that it's going to be a tough one for them to win. And I think really the thing that's going to help West Orange Stark is they got I think they have the veteran leadership that they need.
Yeah.
You still got young guys in Hampshire Finette, and there's no knock on them. They are amazing at what they do. But it's going to be interesting. Once again, it's one of those games. I don't really think there's a clear favorite.
Sure.
But I think West Orange Stark at home,
Right. I
fighting
agree.
for a district championship.
I agree.
I think it's going to mean something to them if they can pull it off.
If you want to pick a side that's going to win, offense or defense, I think West Orange Stark's defense is going to win for them in the game. And their offense is very capable. West Orange Stark's offense, by the way.
Yeah.
They can put up some points as well, but their defense is really going to maybe, shut down Pirtle and
well,
guys
you
like
know
that.
what?
We'll
I mean,
see.
I watched what Pierce Pirtle did against Hitchcock.
Yeah.
That's going to be the guy to watch at that game.
Right.
Every week I think you got a couple guys to watch. That is the guy to watch. If you can shut down Pirtle, you're going to win the game.
Right.
If Pirtle can get in a flow where he's scoring 4 touchdowns, still getting 18 tackles, turn up, he's doing it on both sides of the ball,
Right.
which he's going to have to on Friday night.
He's going to have to. Yes.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
If you can't stop him, it's going to be a tough win. But I think he's the game changer in that one. So if they can figure out how to slow down Pierce Pirtle, then I think then they should be able to pull off and win that one.
It'll be a fun one to talk about. We'll have it for you on the KFDM Friday night tailgate party after the late news Friday night at 10:35. All right, we'll move down and talk about 10-3A Division I. This district won by the Hardin Hornets. They are the champs. Orangefield's win over East Chambers last week.
Locked
them in at 2, but they're going to be home against Beaumont coming up on Friday.
They'll probably get to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if Beaumont pulled that one off. But I don't know. Maybe Orangefield's like, we got it locked in on 2. We can rest some guys. We don't want to risk injury. I know that was an issue for the round 1 playoff game last year.
Okay.
I believe Menard had gotten injured in that game.
Right.
So maybe giving him an extra week of rest wouldn't be something they're against. But I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked.
I think
if
you
they
want to
did
go
that.
into the postseason with the win.
Yeah.
Just keep the good times going. But I mean, no hate against Beaumont. I expect
Yeah.
those starters to be benched at half.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. All right, District 12, 3A Division 2. Newton's won this district going away. They haven't lost a district game since 2012. They're continuing their dominance, but in second place right now, Woodville. Woodville will be at Kuntz.
I believe they both just have the one loss on the season,
correct.
both to Newton.
So,
it's a battle for second.
Right.
And that gets interesting. I think Woodville's probably going to get it over
Gives
them.
you something to play for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Woodville's probably going to have it done. I trust in Luke Babin. I trusted in Luke Babin alone just to beat Newton. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how much trust I have in him, I don't know what will. I think they got a good shot at taking down Kuntz. And that's but who knows?
All right. We can go down the list and talk about some of our 2A teams.
Yeah, let's give them
12 2A Division 2. Evadale will be home against Hull Day Seta.
Yeah.
And Evadale still will make the playoffs, and certainly they went into the regular season with a win.
I believe they're locked in for a second spot.
Yeah.
I expect them to come out here, win this one, and head in the playoffs, see what they can do. See what the Rebels
Any
get from the Rebels.
Deweyville Pirate fans out there, Deweyville's off, like Port Arthur Memorial, so they're off this Friday. So they finished as district champs.
Deweyville won the district.
Deweyville.
They won their district?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just now finding this
Oh,
out.
okay.
Maybe that's
All
not
right.
a good thing for me.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Okay. All right. And we'll move on. In TAPS D2 District 4, Kelly. They'll be on the road at Second Baptist.
Okay.
Kelly looking for a win.
I'm looking for a district win. They
Yeah,
haven't
exactly.
gotten one yet.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
good luck to them. Rooting for them.
Yeah.
I'm going to root for you.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can't play.
Any,
Good luck.
Any Legacy Christian fans, six-man TAPS, six-man football, they're off actually this week.
Okay.
So they went 0-1 in district play. And I don't know if they make the playoffs or not. We'll have to just.
I thought that
follow
game
their
they just played last week wasn't
It
district.
was district.
They won
Oh,
that.
they did win
They
that
did
one.
win.
Yeah, they did
So
win
they're
that
1-1
one.
in
So they're
district.
1-1 in district play.
And then
You're
this
right.
is the team they're scheduled against didn't play this year.
Correct.
So is that a forfeit win?
I think it is a forfeit.
So that's
win.
a
So
2-1.
they should be in the playoffs.
Then maybe they're a playoff team.
All right, good.
That's
Good luck to the Legacy Christian Warriors. Very good. I'm glad we cleared that up. All right. Thanks so much for watching the KFDM Sports Extra podcast or listening wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Cam and I will be back next week to do it all over again.
Thanks for watching the KFDM Sports Extra with Mike Friedman and Cam Sanderson.